Focus is not a personality trait. It's not discipline or motivation or something you're magically born with. Focus is a biological state, a trainable skill, and a performance multiplier. Whether you're a researcher in a lab or an athlete on the field or a leader in the arena of decision making, focus is the force that decides whether your talent becomes output or disappears into distraction. So today I want to unpack focus from three worlds I know well: science, scholarship, and sport. Because the science of focus in the lab is the same science that wins games in the locker room, and the same science that produces breakthroughs in academia. Focus is a neurochemical state. Your ability to focus is governed by two brain systems: the attentional network, what you choose to notice, and the executive network, how well you regulate impulses. Both are shaped by three neurochemicals: dopamine for motivation, norepinephrine for alertness, acetylcholine for precision. When these three align, you enter the state what athletes call the zone, or what academics call deep work, or what neuroscientists call task-specific activation. This isn't willpower, it's biology. You don't control focus with effort. You control it by managing the conditions that create those chemicals. When we turn to focus in the locker room, elite athletes train focus as deliberately as they train strength. They use routines such as breath sequencing, attentional cues, or pre-performance rituals, or even visualization and controlled arousal. So focus is fragile. It breaks under emotion, noise, pressure, or negative self-talk. Athletes know that the brain under pressure wants to widen attention, but performance requires narrowing it. That narrowing is trainable. In basketball, players practice free throws under crowd noise. In cricket, batters rehearse anticipation patterns. In football, players simulate pressure drills. These aren't just physical practices, they are neural sculpting. They teach the brain what to ignore, and in a world of constant distraction, that is a superpower. Now, let's turn to the focus to academia. Academia is also kind of a high-performance sport. But instead of designing focus protocols, universities often destroy them with either endless emails or meetings every hour, administrative overload, open plan offices, constant interruptions, and multitask culture. So what is the likely result from this? A system that rewards output but destroys the state required to produce output. Deep work in academia is not a luxury, it is the foundation of original thought. If athletes need uninterrupted training blocks, scholars need uninterrupted cognitive blocks. Without them, papers become summaries, research can become reactive, thinking becomes fragmented, and curiosity becomes exhaustion. Academia speaks of excellence, but excellence requires focus, and focus requires design. If you're applying for academic jobs and feel stuck guessing, I've released a free roadmap to professorship toolkit. It has CV and cover letter templates, job talk guidance, submission strategy, and the unwritten rules of academia. The roadmap to professorship toolkit is a practical set of templates, guidance, and lessons for academic job applications, CVs, cover letters, job talks, teaching philosophy statements, and submission strategy. The toolkit covers academic versions for both the US and the UK. It also covers the unwritten rules of academia, how to craft a strong research narrative, what to do when hiring committees go quiet, and how to deal with imposter syndrome. Thousands of scholars waste years guessing. You don't have to. In 2026, that can change. You can find the free toolkit in the video description below. So, what does the lab teach us about focus? Neuroscience gives us 4 powerful truths about attention. Number 1, the brain cannot multitask. It switches rapidly, losing efficiency with every switch. This is why multitasking feels productive but reduces output by up to 40%. 2, focus rises and falls in 90-minute cycles. These are ultradian rhythms, the body's natural waves of alertness. 3, distraction breaks neural momentum. It takes at least 20 minutes to return to the previous depth. So remember that the next time you become distracted. And 4, stress narrows attention. Athletes harness this. Academics fear it. AI researchers analyze it. Every field uses the same biology, but only the context differs. Now, I will touch on AI and the war for attention. AI can make you focused or completely unfocused. On one hand, AI accelerates workflow, reduces repetitive tasks, and generates insights that used to take hours. Used properly, AI is a focus amplifier. But used unconsciously, it becomes a mental dopamine casino through either new prompts, new ideas, endless options, or infinite drafts. This creates halo thinking, where the brain jumps from one micro-reward to another. As a result, focus dies in abundance. AI doesn't reduce the need for focus, it increases the need for disciplined attention. In an age of infinite information, focus becomes the filter that decides what matters. Tools don't create depth, attention does. So what do athletes teach us about distraction? Distraction is not a modern problem, it's a human one. Athletes for decades have mastered the art of what performance science calls attentional gating. This is a skill of filtering irrelevant signals during high-pressure situations. So let's briefly look at 3 examples. A goalkeeper ignoring the crowd, a batter ignoring sledging, or a sprinter ignoring lane noise. The science is clear. Focus is not the absence of noise, it is the ability to choose which noise counts. Academics need the same ability to ignore unnecessary admin, ignore intellectual politics, ignore comparison culture, ignore perfectionism, or even ignore interruptions disguised as urgency. Distraction kills innovation more than ignorance ever will. Ultimately, what we need to remember as well is that focus is physical. We often think of focus as a mental state, but it is also a physical one. Simple physical actions dramatically improve cognitive focus. Low intensity walking, hydration, cold exposure, controlled breathing, natural light exposure, and nutritional stability. Athletes use these to enter peak states. Academics rarely use them, yet they have the same brain. Focus is a full body phenomenon. In the A4 philosophy, we find that AI enhances attention through automation. Academia provides the frameworks for deep thinking. Athletes demonstrate the discipline of focus. And altruism reminds us what to focus on, which leads to purpose. Human potential expands when attention is directed with intention. So, in closing, focus is not about intensity. It's about clarity. It's not about doing more. It's about doing one thing well. And it's not about avoiding distraction. It's about choosing your signal in a noisy world. The lab teaches us the biology of focus. The locker room teaches us the discipline of focus. AI teaches us the consequences of focus. Master these and you master your potential. Until next time.